Hello all, I'm Guna Madhivanan from Officers IAS Academy. Friends, we are coming up with an exclusive live quiz program based on current affairs targeting 2024 prelims on a weekly basis. So every Saturday at 6 p.m. in our Officers Path channel, we will be coming up with this live quiz program. So how to participate? So for which you have to install an mobile application. So go to either App Store or the Google Play Store to download this application named Kahoot application. Download and install it. Right. So every Saturday at 6 p.m. in the live video, I will be giving you a 7-digit PIN. So you have to enter that 7-digit PIN in your installed application. In that Kahoot application, you have to enter that 7-digit PIN. Or we will give you a QR code. If you are not interested in installing the application, you can scan the QR code in the web browser. You can open the web page. In that you can enter this 7-digit PIN number and you can participate in this quiz program. So once you enter the 7-digit number, the application will ask you to give a username. So you have to give your username. Followed by your username, please give your last 4 digits of your mobile phone number. For example, my username is Guna8990, the last 4 digits of my phone number. So like that you can create your own username. That's all. You are ready to participate in the quiz. So in the live video, I will be showing you the question. The question will be followed by 4 options as usual, A, B, C, D. The 4 options will have a color code, right? So option A, red color, option B, blue color, option C, green color, option D, yellow color. So the 4 options will have 4 different color codes. So in your mobile phone, you have installed the Kahoot application, right? So the Kahoot application in your phone, in your device, it will show you 4 colored box, only 4 colored box. Only in the video which you are watching, in that live video, I will give you the question, followed by that 4 option I will be giving you. The 4 option will have a color code, right? So if you are going to choose A as the right answer, then A has red color, then in your mobile phone you will have a red colored box. You have to choose that. That's all. If the answer which you have chosen is correct, and if you have chosen that quickly, for every question we will give you 60 seconds. Assume that I am choosing A is the right answer, and I am choosing within 20 seconds, within 10 seconds. Based on how quickly I choose the question, I have to choose the correct one and I have to choose it as early as possible. So the one who is choosing at the earliest will be given more points. So if I am choosing in 20 seconds, I will be given more points. If someone is choosing at 30 seconds, then relatively lesser points, right? So this is how the quiz will work. So at the end of the program, we will show you the leaderboard. Between the questions also, I will show you the leaderboard. At the end, I will show you the final leaderboard. The one with more number of points will be given a certificate, right? The idea of the quiz program is to provide you a real-time experience of solving the questions along with that competitive environment, right? I hope this program adds more value to your preparation. So along with this, we have a daily current affairs hit list series, daily answer rating initiative. So all these initiatives will give you a competitive edge in your 2024 prelims as well as mains, right? I hope this adds more value to your preparation. So see you in the quiz. Till then, bye, take care.
Good evening, everybody. This is Sukumar, faculty for Ethics and Public Administration at Officers IAS Academy, and I'll be the host yet again for the quiz. So we are not going to quiz you on questions of the UPSC standard. So more of a very general awareness, something you may have heard of looking at the newspapers or sometime in school. That's going to be the nature of the quiz. So let's get going. Let's start right away. So, and if you need to share the link of the quiz with some of your friends, You're welcome to do that. We'll probably wait for another 30 seconds. Start with the quiz. Yeah, we'll take 30 seconds for that, and then we can start. I'm looking at the names to see if some of those from the top last time are there. Remember one by name David, not able to see all the names. However, those from last time are. So we'll start. Okay. Right. So which Indian state recently reintroduced cheetahs in an attempt to revive the population of this endangered species? Extensively in the news, certainly seen our Prime Minister doing a lot of things in this context. Very quick, 72 already. Ten more seconds. There are some who are still waiting for the last second. That's it. Over. The correct answer, which is Madhya Pradesh, has received the highest proportion of answers. So, great job, guys. So, you've been paying attention to some news. And so, in the context of something like the cheetahs, now let's always also think about what similar questions one can expect from the UPSC prelims. So we've seen questions in the past on the cheetah. There was one question on whether the cheetahs are naturally found in India. That was a question. And some of these animals are very important. You take, for instance, elephant, tiger, so many questions pertaining to some of these animals in terms of what conservation methods we've adopted, in which national park you tend to see the highest concentration of them, highest density, state-wise classification, and some of these bodies which are there for the conservation of some of these animals, like National Tiger Conservation Authority. Some questions on who heads this body, is this body a constitutional body, statutory body? So these are the kind of questions that you get on animals per se. Particularly, it's in terms of conservation of some of these. Okay, so great job, you've gotten it right. So let's move on to the next question. Uh, oh yeah, so Pritika has been the quickest with the answer. Great job, and it's tied. It's tied with three other people: Dinesh, Raman, Kavya. Great job, guys. And very close behind is Ajin and Prithvi. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. What is the capital city of Israel? That's quick. Amazing, guys. So 67 answers in less than 10 seconds. 75 in little more than 10 seconds. Great. See, if everybody answers the question as soon as possible, then we did not wait for the timer to. There are always some people waiting until the very last moment. Okay, another 13 seconds to go. Oh, again, great job. So the right answer picked by 54 people. Nice, great job. So in the context of Israel, now Israel is a country that has appeared so many times in both the UPSC prelims and also UPSC mains. Now, in terms of prelims, there was a question in the past. Uh, the context of uh, which country have you heard of the two-state solution? This was a question in the past. And so, in the context of geography, if you look at the UPSC prelims questions, now if there is a country or a particular place which has been in the news for, very consistently for a longer period of time, then you tend to get questions on the geography in pertaining to, which countries are neighboring this particular country. If you look at Israel, for instance, what are the neighboring countries is a very prospective question for the upcoming year. So that's what you need to keep in mind. So when you are seeing some places in the news consecutively for with a lot of prominence, then you need to be a little more curious and you need to understand the background. You need to look at the geography, India's relationship with that particular country, so on and so forth. Now, I'm very confident both in prelims and mains, the upcoming year, you're going to be getting questions on Israel Palestine. So let's look at the leaderboard. Dinesh Raman has emerged at the top. Now we don't have ties. Second is Shakti Devi, then we have Harsh, and then Kavya, Vandan, and Bhavya. Great job, guys. So the highest climber is DOS 7899. Great job, DOS. So let's move on to the next question. Okay. Rapid, but not as fast as the last time, but still fairly good. Another 27 seconds. Ten more seconds. Okay, like expected, the highest percentage of people have gotten the right answer. Not really been a trick. So the correct answer is 1 MB. So don't expect such simple questions in the UPSC prelims, but see, computers, emerging technology in the context of computers is the favorite theme for UPSC. So you tend to see questions on supercomputers, you tend to see questions on mobile computing and topics related to computers like augmented reality, virtual reality, artificial intelligence. So these are some of the favorite themes of UPSC. So emerging technologies in the context of computers are very, very, very important. And they don't anymore ask questions in the context of science and tech. It's not about the very old technology. So it's very current, and here is where current affairs is important of science and technology. So let's look at the leaderboard. Dinesh has fallen a bit, and Kavya has emerged to the top. And Naveen is the highest climber this time. So great job, Naveen. Good going. So let's move on to the next question. Which is the longest river on earth? Some thinking going on. Okay, not that fast. Probably because of lyrics in a lot of Tamil songs. Probably long. 93 done already. So for the first time, we've had a question where we've beaten the timer. Like everyone's answered before the timer's completed. Great job, please. This is excellent. Just continue doing this for all the upcoming questions. And fantastic. So we have 82 people who've picked the right answer. So which is the highest percentage so far in terms of people getting the answer right. So it's all about the timing. So let's see how you've done with respect to timing. So let's look at the leaderboard. Yeah, so Kavya, great job, Kavya. That's right at the top. And so 13 players have reached the answer streak. 3 questions right. So in the context of rivers, so what kind of topics are important? So in UPSC rivers, get questions on rivers, not just in geography, you also get it from history. For instance, what are some of the rivers discussed in Vedic literature? Then in the context of international relations also you get questions. For instance, is water treaty an important topic in the context of prelims? Then differences between peninsular rivers, Himalayan rivers, and where some of these rivers originate, and some of these rivers flow into, whether it flows into the Arabian Sea or Bay of Bengal. Then in terms of formation of deltas, you might get questions. And which tributary is a part of which river is again a very favorite theme for UPSC, and this is where they tend to trick you. They give tributaries like Vine Ganga, Pen Ganga, and the question is which of the following are tributaries of Ganga? Okay, so looking at Vine Ganga, Pen Ganga, you might think, oh, it's a tributary of Ganga, and here is where UPSC sets its trap, right? So you'll have so many people who will fall prey to this trap of UPSC, and they'll end up clicking Vine Ganga, Pen Ganga to be tributaries of Ganga. They are not the tributaries of Ganga. Okay, so great job. So let's move on to the next question. Gir National Park in Gujarat is famous for which animal? Okay, easy one, very easy one. And there is one option which you can very easily eliminate on the basis of previous questions. So easier job for you. Fast. Are we going to beat the timer? I'm hoping everyone gets this answer. Still, some have gotten it wrong, but still fairly good. The large majority have gotten the answer right. The correct answer is lion. So, just speaking of people waiting until the last moment, for the timer to get completed. Please read up on something called the Parkinson's law. Okay, so what this Parkinson's law says is that if you have a certain amount of time left for completing something, you will end up taking that whole time, even if it is actually not necessary. So, let's say you have 1 year to do something, you will actually end up taking 1 year because there is 1 year. Something that you can do within 1 month, you will end up taking 1 year to do it. Okay, this is what is called the Parkinson's law. And even in this particular quiz, we see the Parkinson's law at work, where people are waiting until the last moment to get the answer. Don't wait. So, have a little more risk appetite in life. So you're not going to lose much by getting one answer wrong. So go for it as quickly as possible. So questions in the context of national parks, what kind of questions to expect? So which national park is in which state? The very favorite theme for UPSC. And then questions pertaining to a few very unique national parks. For instance, Kabul Lamjau National Park. So this is the only floating national park in our country, and this is also where you see Sangai deer. So questions like this basic sense to ask, and also in terms of classification, how for instance a zoo is different from a national park, how a biosphere reserve is different from a national park, and what kind of protection is available to, let's say, national parks as compared to biosphere reserves. And rivers passing through national park is again another theme. So these are some of the favorites for UPSC. Let's look at the leaderboard. Let's see if Kavya is still at the top. Kavya is still at the top. Kavya Vardhan, great job. And Shakti Devi, again still at the top. Naveen, I don't remember the last time, or were you already there? Yes, you have come up. Great job, Naveen. You're now at 3, and then DOS is at 5. So let's move on. Let's move on to the next question. Agra situated on the bank of Ganges. Fast. Very, very easy one. So anytime you look at a photograph of Taj Mahal or in a song of a movie, in from certain shots in a certain angle, you would see that there is a river very nearby, and with a little bit of curiosity, uh, have been able to figure out what where this is. So let's see what you guys have done. Another 10 seconds. Parkinson's law is perfectly working in this question as well. Oh, it didn't. You've beaten the timer. Great job. Okay, so the highest number of people have gotten the right answer. So it's 79 who gotten it right. Great job, guys. And hey, some of these guys, Agra situated on the bank of Brahmaputra. Come on, guys. Brahmaputra, how? No problem at all. So let's move on. Let's look at the scoreboard. Shakti Devi, brilliant. So really quick. Kavya Vardhan is second. Rest of you, Naveen, Devi, Toss. Great job, guys. You're holding your positions. And see, even if you get such questions like miserably wrong, there's absolutely nothing to worry, because this examination is not about your memory, right? So, and there are people who start preparation where they absolutely know, like really, like you ask some of these students, like who's the president of India, and some of these students actually don't really know. And you might think, how these candidates are going to clear, and these are the candidates that actually come and surprise you, because in that 1 year they do a really great job. They are very, very focused, committed, and these candidates surprise you, right? So just doesn't matter. Get it. So let's move on. Let's move on to the next question. Wow, very easy one. The second people are thinking. Kudos to the question setter. It's a fairly interesting set of options. Great job with it. Still, a majority have made up their mind. Okay, some have fallen prey to some of the traps here. Many have picked C, many have picked D, but still majority has gotten the answer right. It's none other than the coronavirus infectious disease. Now, so keeping this question, looking at how this question has been set, so what UPSC tends to do is in the four options that are given, often you might see that two of these options are very similar sounding. Okay, probably they start with the same word. Like for instance, let's say there are two options here that begin with continuous. Okay, let's just take an example. Two options that start with continuous. There is a technique that we call the technique of similarity. So when there are two options that start with the same word, 90% of the time the answer tends to be between those two options that start with the same word. Technique of similarity. So this exam is not just about knowledge, it's about being able to see a lot of logical loopholes, it's about applying certain techniques. So COVID-19 otherwise, you know, how is it really relevant? In the context of main examination, you get questions in the context of disaster management. So in terms of management of a pandemic, that's one prospective theme, possible theme, vaccine diplomacy. Then in terms of vaccination per se, the technical details, what is this mRNA vaccine, how is it different from other kinds of vaccine. So these are the kind of questions to expect. Let's move on, look at the leaderboard. Kavya is again back at top. Great job, Kavya. And Naveen's also moved up. Naveen, Devi Priya, Srini, this name I'm seeing it for the first time. Das is very, very strong in holding his place. So great job, guys. And Manigandan is back with an answer streak of 3. Great job, Manigandan. Good. So let's move on to the next question. So, most widely spoken language in the world is no comments. Because I might end up giving away the answer. I have a suspicion majority will get this answer. I guess it's fairly good question. Commonsensically, there are at least 3 options that results have come. My guess was perfectly right. Majority have gotten the answer. So, English, you may call it lingua franca, but the answer is Mandarin, Chinese. I'd like to congratulate myself. Better guess then. So, great job, guys. So, let's see how this is affecting the leaderboard. Laos has emerged at the top, and there is who's this unknown person who's now at number 2. Fantastic. Then we have Shisai, Hinata, Mukil. All the old timers have gone, and thus, like, very consistent. You were holding your place, like you were consolidating your position, and then like just zoomed off to the top. So great job, Das. So Anu is making a comeback with 3 in a row. Great job, Anu. Interesting. Let's move on to the next. Okay, which organ purifies our blood? Easy one, guys. And paid the slightest attention biologically. But I suspect here also we might see a lot of students getting the answer wrong. Okay, my suspicion has come right. You have correct answer picked by a minority. The highest number of people have gone for heart. So again, so I think it's a bit predictable, you know. So I think that's how even UPSC works. They exactly know how to fall someone into a trap, and that's why I think this question setters at UPSC are like real genius. So let's see how this has affected the leaderboard. It's still right there at the top, not falling prey to any of these traps. Nata has made a significant jump, and Kavya is again at the top. Great job, Kavya. And so 4 players lost this answer streak of 5. Fantastic. So good. So let's move on to the next question. Who wrote the national anthem Amar Sona Bangla? So fast. 72 under. Again, say the question setter has done a great job. Twenty seconds to go. And I have a suspicion we might not have the majority getting the answer right for this. Let me see if my guess is. Oh wow. Surprised? 73 have gotten the answer right. Rabindranath Tagore. Great job, guys. But uh, fairly bit confusing, you know. Could have easily picked the Chatterjee or Rabindranath Tagore. And I hope you all know Amar Sona Bangla is the anthem of Bangladesh. Great job. Let's move on. Let's look at the leaderboard. Loss. Very. Then we have Hinata, Kavya. All you guys are holding your. Ritika, IAS climber, has been really quick. Good job, guys. Let's move on. Pink City is known as the Pink City. Super fast with this, I'm guessing. One of the fastest so far. Timer. There is a slight trap. There's a trap in the. More seconds. Great job. I think one of the highest percentage of students getting the right answer. Great job. It's Jaipur. So this has a very interesting Maharaja called Raja Ram Singh. So this Maharaja Ram Singh, he painted the whole city of Jaipur pink to welcome, I think, the Edward 7 or Edward 8. So that's the reason why it later on became this pink city, because it continued staying pink. Pink story behind why Jaipur. Let's move on to the next question. Also still at the very top, Shanmugha Priya is making a comeback with 3 in a row. Kavya Vardhan again holding her place. Naveen, Srini, Devi Priya, amazing job, Das. Let's move on. Let's move on to the next question. Which northeastern state of India shares its border with Myanmar and Nagaland? It's a very tough one. I think the toughest question so far in our set of questions. But there is a commonsensical reason why could make an informed guess, get the answer correct, then really without where, which, not. Let's see. Oh wow, we've actually gotten uh, the majority have picked the right answer, Manipur, for the reason that Manipur has so extensively been in news for the last few months. I think that's the reason why you guys guessed Manipur. But this is how UPSC, I'll tell you how UPSC would play with a question like this. Okay, so they would give you a question, which northeastern state has a border with, let's say, these two states, and Manipur would be in one of the options, because UPSC would think that, look, this unsuspecting candidate would think, oh, Manipur has been in the news so often, Manipur should be the right answer, would go for it and get the answer wrong. How cunning UPSC typically is. Let's see what kind of outcome we have. Das, great job. Great job, Das. So Naveen's now moved to second place, me at third. Kavya Vardhan has slightly gone behind. Have Dev Ritik, have Ajin, again names at the top 5. 8 players this time have reached an answer of getting 4 answers. Okay, great job. Let's move on to the question. India's largest city by population. For all practical purposes, got to be within just. So I think there'll be a rough split between those two options that are kind of close. Okay. Of course, the majority of the answers are between those two cities, but the majority have gotten Mumbai correctly as the right answer. Would we see a big change in the leaderboard? There at the top. Dev Ritik, Kill. 6 players have reached the streak of the correct answers. Great job. There are just 2 more questions. Anything can happen. On. What is the name of India's national aquatic animal? Guys, guessing or correct answer? By the way, there was a question in the past on India's national aquatic animal. Very same phrase was, the options were different, but very same phrase. Fantastic. Like there are a lot of aspirants. I mean, there's no way that someone who's a commoner who's not into exam preparation would know this answer, but interestingly, 77 have gotten the answer correctly. So the Ganges river dolphin again is a very favorite aquatic species for the UPSC. Many times it's appeared in the past, and whether this Gangetic river dolphin is blind, then how is the Indus river water dolphin from the Gangetic river dolphin? So is there any conservation reserved for these Gangetic river dolphins? These have been some of the favorite areas for UPSC in the past. So let's look at leaderboard. Das, very strong Das, have been second. Tini, Devratik, Kill. So Das has an answer streak of 14 questions. That's 14 out of 14. Amazing, Das. So, very last one. Let's go. 15 out of 15. Which century did Portuguese merchants land and go? Das should be a little bit relaxed. Ten more seconds. Okay, the correct answer is 15th century, and interestingly, the majority have gotten the answer correctly. So, again, the colonizers, Dutch, the Portuguese, the French, the British, favorite areas for then questions pertaining to Goa. You've gotten a question in the past, and Francis Xavier. Francis Xavier. So, the much awaited final leaderboard. Let's go for it. And third is Naveen, second is Srini, and the first is none other than Das7899. Das, amazing job. I'd like to dedicate. There's a song I heard, movie Leo on Das. Would celebrate with that song. So great job, Das. Fantastic. And I think the top 5 the leaderboard would get a certificate from Officers IAS Academy. And how should they get the certificate? They need to WhatsApp. Okay, so there is a number in the description. So you need to WhatsApp to that number and you'll get a certificate. So great job, Das, Srini and Naveen. So I hope like taking week's quiz. That's all again for the same general quiz. So amazing job, guys. I liked hosting as well. Thank you so much.